Everybody, quick video blog here to get you through the setup as we head through this final couple of days here, really, of September heading into October. Just a reminder, of course, the winter thoughts, still putting those together. About 85% of the way done with it. Again, those will come out on Halloween night right here on the blog, so make sure to stay tuned for that. Got another month, and I need it. All right, here's the latest outside. As far as our outlooks go, when it comes to severe weather, really not much really to talk about. There's not a lot of strong wind fields. We do have this area of low pressure providing some gusty winds, perhaps some lightning thunder as we move through the next 24 to 36 hours. But overall, that's really about it. Nothing that exciting happening on that front. All right, temperature-wise, up to 71 now, 69 at Fort Knox. These clouds that are streaming in from the south are very high, thin nature. In fact, look how thin they really get across our central sections here. So there's enough sun and hazy sun to get us into the 80s for this afternoon. Anywhere you see these little green blips, though, those little light sprinkles that may start to fall from the sky in our southern counties later this afternoon. Wouldn't rule it out. Here in Louisville, it could happen this evening. But overall, most of us will stay dry. This is just, we'll call it an isotropic lift, basically, of where the atmosphere is getting to the point now where we're starting to see some raindrops trying to make it to the ground. But it's mainly going to be the event to our south that's going to kick it in high gear. We actually have two areas. Look at that one spinning of low pressure. I mean, if this would sit here a little longer, it very well could become a tropical system. Either way, it eventually will become the more dominant system and then work its way to the north and east to provide us with good soaking rain, especially over Kentucky. Here's how Futurecast sees this, and keep in mind, two things are going to be happening here when you watch this image of Futurecast. One, the low pressure itself is going to get close to us. It's going to scoot right across southern portions of our area, providing us on the northern side of the rain shield. At the same time, we do have a cold front that is going to be dropping down from the northwest. Now, where they're going to meet up is probably where you may have a focus of some heavier bands of rain for about a 4-hour period that could happen on Tuesday. Timing probably looks to be late morning for that to happen. Got to stress, though, if this front is slower in arriving than expected, then the northern shield of this low pressure may push all the way into Indiana before the front moves in, and vice versa. If the front moves in a little too fast, then the heaviest of rain will be concentrated in our southern counties, giving Indiana a break from the heavier total. So it's all about a race between the front and the low kind of merging or kind of glancing by as they pass through here on Tuesday. So this is what to look for. Today, clouds continue to increase. You start to see more of those little, green blips showing the radar. We'll make it to the 80s. All right, now we'll start to see more of the moisture increase as we head into the overnight period. And then for tomorrow morning's rush, here comes the northern edge of that area of low pressure moving in. We start to get some heavier downpours, tropical downpours in some cases, and pretty good heavy rain. We need it, so it's not all bad news. Wouldn't rule out some lightning with this, nothing severe, again, expected. And then as we head into about 4 in the afternoon, we start to see the cold front show up here. Here it is moving in, and here is the low pressure, the core of it now beginning to get pushed to the Lexington area because it sees the front, and then the front kind of wipes it off to the east. But we're not done entirely. It looks like we're going to clear it out, enjoy beautiful weather for the rest of the week. And for a couple of days, it did look that way. But there's been a change in that, and I'll get to that in a second. As far as rain totals go, gotta stress, it really will depend on a couple of things. One, thunderstorms. If you get a little complex of heavier downpours, you're going to get some heavier totals. But that's what's a little blotchy here in Shelbyville and E-Town. Doesn't mean you're going to get exactly 1.29. Just try to look at the overall trend, and that is Kentucky gets the heaviest versus Indiana. But again, it'll depend on how quickly the front sweeps down and cuts the totals off. As far as what the models are saying, other models, decent. At least a half inch is showing up in all the models. That's good. Some over an inch, but I think that would be more thunderstorm induced or something along that line to get those totals over an inch. I think the RPM, the NAM have a better idea of a half inch, maybe a little more. Is certainly possible here in Louisville, and I wouldn't rule it out. But it is welcome. We will take it. But here's the problem. I mentioned how the low looks like it's moving away. When you look at the percent of cloud cover over the next 7 days, on 0 to 100, basically. Today and tomorrow, really, especially parts of tomorrow, have the least amount of potential for a overcast sky. But once you get into later this week, notice how we really jump up to where the cloud percentage really is getting up there. So overall, the trend I want you to look at here over the next 7 days is more clouds than sun, the way it's looking. That is going to keep us on the cool side of things, and maybe at times some light rain or drizzle. Wouldn't rule it out. So here's the upper air pattern of the GFS to kind of give you an idea of how things are moving aloft, because the moisture aloft is going to be key on this. Here comes the high. This is your dry punch of air. Anywhere you see black is dry air, so obviously dry in the deserts. And you see that dry punch of air with the cold front that's dropping down. And here comes our low pressure moving through East Kentucky. Again, this is tomorrow afternoon. When the front passes into our area or gets right up against us, our low pressure that came through here is back over here now, into east, into Carolinas. And here comes a dry punch right into portions of Louisiana, but not exactly the punches into Kentucky. Kind of scoots around us. And this will be for about Wednesday into Thursday. And the reason why is because the low is then going to get a little more comfortable later this week, and it spreads moisture back again aloft to the west. So the cloud shield once again will go backwards and expand over us. So that may keep us cloudy. This is for Saturday, by the way. The more east you are, the more you'll be in the thicker clouds. The more west, you may see some sun. We lucked out last weekend in a similar setup. We ended up seeing some decent sun breaks. So that's why I'm not going to say it's going to be overcast every day. I'm not going to say that. But the potential is there for a couple of overcast days to happen. And with that cool flow, along with overcast skies, the days we have the two of them combined are the days we're not going to get out of the 60s. If we get some sun breaks, we may climb into the low 70s. No 80s, don't see that happening. So temperatures will highly be dependent on the thickness of the clouds. If it's cloudy and gloomy all day long, 60s. If we get some hints of sun, 70s. That's how you're going to see the 7-day kind of structured as we did this weekend. Yes, the thicker the clouds also means a chance for some light showers of drizzle. I still think it's going to be closer to where the low is, so mainly off to the east. So kind of an update there. Not the prettiest of weeks coming our way. If this continues to hold true, it's only Monday. Things can still change, but that is the way things look today. Now, the European model, and special thanks to Weather Bell for their images to be able to see this. This is European ensembles. Notice as we head into the next couple of days, our average temperature really begins to drop. So today is certainly the warmest day. And then as we head into this weekend and into next week, all the way really through about the 7th or so, average temperatures in the 60s, those at night in the 40s, perhaps, if we clear out in some cases. If we stay cloudy, probably stay in the 50s. But either way, kind of a cool forecast as we begin the month of October. All right, so that's that. I want to talk a little quick on long term. The new update from El Nino came out. We pay attention to this one here, 3.4. We have noticed that it has leveled off, if not dropped slightly. Now, we see these fluctuations often. In fact, we saw one right at the end of August. It looked like it was dropping and then went back up again. So, is this it? Is this the peak? Are we done? Or is it going to go down from here on out? Some models say, yes, this is it. Now we start our downward trend. If that's the case, it did not get to record levels or anything crazy. But if it's just a fluctuation and still is going to climb, then that's a whole other story. But it is interesting to see that the most recent updates show a slight decrease. More importantly, is the water temperature anomalies in the Pacific are still outstanding from the Aleutian Islands here, Gulf of Alaska, all the way to Central America. This part especially, the northern part of that, is still going to be very crucial in how the winter is going to play out. As long as I keep seeing anomalies like that, I am still leaning toward the idea of a very fun and crazy winter around our area. But we'll see. Anomalies can change fast in October, and we'll see how things play out. So that's how it's looking today on the short term and the longer term. And I'll have more, of course, tomorrow morning. And I'll see you on midday coming up soon. And make sure to watch for wave3.com, by the way. We have the big announcement about Mars. Streaming on our website. So look for the link to be passing through social media. That'll be live at 11:30. Talk to you later.